You are where I go to hide when the wind starts to blow, when the lightning starts to strike, when the thunder starts to roll, when this life becomes a fight. You are where I put my gloves down when I'm running out of time. You are where I go to slow down. You are my favorite place. You are my sacred space. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Welcome to Sacred Circle. We are here once again. India Reed, you just do it for us. When you do that song right there, it puts us into a beautiful meditation. And in having spending some time with India Reed, her music is her. It's really her. And so what's in her, it shows up in her purpose. And she's on purpose. And every time we open up with that, I go into a India Reed trance with my sacred sister. It's a pleasure. Today we have two wonderful healers who will be sharing with us the womb healing, womb wellness day. This is Womb Wellness Day. Let's just big it up. A lot of hearts for Womb Wellness Day. If you love Womb Wellness Day, throw out a heart or two. Thank you. We love you back. And forward and up and through it all. Well, a part of womb wellness, a part of womb healing is to live in purpose, to birth your purpose. So as you're tuning in with us today, I want you to think about what your purpose is and what is it going to take for you to birth yourself, to be yourself, to grow yourself, to be that entrepreneur that you've always wanted to be, to write that book and to teach that class and to give that workshop and to do those movements to help others to be uplifted. Think about what you want to birth. And while you're considering what you want to birth, think about the state of the womb of the mind, which I will do a prayer on that now, the womb of the heart, and your seat of creation. So place your palms together, and I will do this prayer with all of us together in a sacred circle. Awaken the womb of my mind. For what I think, I birth, I create. Inhale with me. And all of us in a circle, place your hands over your heart center and now say, awaken the womb of my heart. For what I feel, I birth, I create. Create a Merkut, a pyramid, representing resurrection, restoration. And place that right over your womb, your core. Your right palm is right over your right ovary, and left palm is over your left ovary. And the symbol is going down, sacred geometry is going down to the core of the earth. And in that spirit, we're pulling all the minerals from the earth to charge up our womb centers. And then we finally say, take a deep breath and exhale out. Awaken our seat of creation. For what we think and what we feel, we birth through our seat of creation. And today, we birth womb wellness. Today, we birth a new world of body, mind, and spiritual wholeness. For we, sisters, mothers, grandmothers, daughters, we have awakened. In doing the womb wellness work, it has given me so many gems and so many gifts, because in my beginning, being a teenager who had her menstrual flow at age 13, I fell to the floor. My first menstrual flow. I threw up. I was nauseous. I was crying. I was in pain. I didn't know what to do. And my mother didn't know what to do. So she gave me what she knew, an aspirin, to kill the pain. How many aspirin before you kill your wound and you numb out your life? Well, I survived that. And then I became 16 years of age. And I discovered, or it discovered me, holistic health. And I started to detox. Some of you know the story. 3 days, one healing retreat, changed my entire life, and I never went back. I became a total, at that time was a vegan, just came up 10 years ago. It's called vegetarian. I'm total plant-based, and I never turned back. I just kept living that life, and after about 2 or 3 months, my menstrual flow was due, and then it came. But to my astonishment, I'm astonished, no pain. What? I thought that was part of being a woman, that you were actually going to have pain for the rest of your womb life until your menstrual flow is over, which I didn't even know about menopause until some years later. But during that time, the menstrual pain was no longer. I was like, what happened? I know the asthma left, the allergies left, the eczema left, the arthritis left. On that retreat, my whole life changed. But that menstrual piece right there, that pain. And I know that pain was related to my lifestyle later on, and my consciousness, and how I felt, and relationships that I had, and intimate relationships, that my womb had a conversation with me. And she spoke. And so I was able to heal and never have another womb pain again. So once I discovered that the miracle, that you didn't have to suffer as a woman, then I began to tell all the women that would come to workshops, classes, and seminars as I began to grow this womb wellness. So inside of reflecting on womb wellness, I saw that if your womb is stifled and congested and toxic and in pain, your life is toxic, congestion, and struggling and in pain. And as I kept cleaning up my womb centers, because your mind, your heart reflects your womb seat, I started to see, wait a minute, my purpose began to grow. And it began to grow so much so that there was no limits to how my purpose was outpouring. Now, it leads me to right now. I would say 72 hours ago, I lived my life by 24 hours, 48 hours, and 72 hours. And then I lived my life by the seasons. So, 72 hours ago, I had a revelation. And I want to invite you to have a revelation and say, what am I supposed to do? I went to the Most High with every ounce of my soul. And I said, there must be a breakthrough on this level. And I was stuck. I couldn't hear. So I had my green juice. Okay, I'm going to give it to the green juice. I'm going to have I had another swallow. Drinking sunlight, that would help. Open my spirit up for the prayer and say, Most High, guide me. I trust in the Most High within me. I have learned to have impeccable listening, receive the impeccable vision, and then I write it down, and then I feel it. And I go through this birthing and this actually conceiving it, letting it just grow inside of me. And it grew, and it kept growing every day, every moment of the last 72 hours. It's been growing. And guess what it is? Woman, heal thyself. Woman, heal the planet. Wow. Women, heal thyself. Women, heal the planet. And then my son started looking and scrolling and see if it was already taken. He put in, woman, heal thyself, woman, heal the planet. And you know what came up? Planet Heal, the last book with the 76 healers. WAP, here we go. I can go with that. But I asked the divine gave me a perfect channel. And so, by the time this show is over, this is a test. See how quick, how sharp, how rapid speed my team is. I know that it will be a miracle. If you look up under this, woman, heal thyself, woman, heal planet, woman, heal the planet. As you look it up, you'll see that you can register. Now, what is this? Well, at the same time, I was reading this book that I found in my family's library in the basement when I was cleaning out the basement the other day. And in Brooklyn, that's where I am now. And what did I saw? I saw a book named We Shall Overcome. And I saw Malcolm X on the cover and Martin Luther King on the cover. And that march that I was at when I was 9 years old. And We Shall Overcome. And I connected it to social justice, to womb protection, womb awareness, keeping your womb all of your life and not having a hysterectomy, that we have the right to have a life of no pain, right to life, no pain. And women, so many of our women dying, passing away during childbirth. It's unnecessary when we know. And I started reflecting on all of this, and then it came through me how it should come to pass. And this is the channel. I started to write. It was the first of 1 day, became a 2 day because it's so much to share. So in the course of 2 days, it will begin this month on the 14th and the 15th. So chisel out 4 hours on a Friday and 4 hours on that Saturday. And in those 4 hours, 4 for me is everything because that's the foundation, that number. Whatever you want to build, you're going to come on and I'm going to introduce to you Sacred Woman. I'll show you the roadmap. Many of you already have the book. You don't know how to decipher the book or how to really incorporate it into your lives. Come to that session and we're going to put 90 minutes of Sacred Woman. Just going to go from gateway to gateway to gateway to gateway so you can see your spiritual anatomy and how you can heal yourself from that. And then we're going to go to 90 minutes of womb wellness and breast and heart care, how they all connect, and foods and herbs and care that you can give to yourself so that you can be well in your womb, that you don't have to suffer with endometriosis and fibroid tumors and cysts and heavy bleeding and clotting. All of that, I'm going to introduce you to some techniques that you can do to empower your womb life. And then we're going to go into the Emerald Green teaching. And then we're going to teach, and I'll be covering what you have to be there because you have to help your family. Whether they have high blood pressure or they have, stress in the household or respiratory issues or during the coronavirus. Come on now. I looked up on the news this morning. This was world news. And it said in the UK that they went right past the 1 million mark of those who are suffering from coronavirus. And now there are 17 people passed. Probably now there are 30 people passed this hour ago. And so it's just growing in numbers. And so they're shutting the country all the way down. On what? On your immune system being challenged and your respiratory system being congested? When nature and the garden has provided us ways in which to heal ourselves? Wait a minute, who are we kidding? Oh, come on. It's already there. It's already been given. It's in the garden. See, I know that we know because guess what? Sacred women, they are not tripping. They are helping their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, their brothers, their friends, their neighbors on how to heal themselves because they know they have the secrets. And man, heal thyself, big it up, wellness warriors. We do know in our community, and we want this work to get out. So that's going to be the introduction to that with the Emerald Green work. And then I'm going to have 90 minutes with the womb yoga there. So whip out your yoga mats. Get a blue yoga mat representing Mother Newt, our Universal Sky Mother, and I'm going to do yoga with you right there in LA. We're going to do it in my yoga studio. You'll be right there with me. And then we're going to close out with Planet Heal. We'll close out with Planet Heal. And that is really talking to the entrepreneurs because Planet Heal is 76 healers. They're all from different walks of life. They are doulas, okay? And they are consultants of wellness, and they're financial advisors and medical doctors and midwives and yoga practitioners and Reiki masters and just breathologists. It's just an amazing roll up of 76 healers. And so all those healers, they're independent. They all have their own businesses, some 20, 30, and 40 years. So they have a lot to teach us, a lot to share. And we want you to join in that circle of becoming independent, becoming an entrepreneur. So we're going to close out in that. So we want everyone to come in on that. I want to just thank Black Girls Rock, Beverly Bond, for supporting us as we did our 2-day virtual womb healing retreat. Well, here we go now. We're now going into all of the bodies of work in those 2 days. And when you come out of that, you're going to be so fired up. You're going to be so charged up. I want you to bring your journal, lavender or pink. I want you to bring your yoga mat. I want you to bring your favorite tea, your green juices, your salad bowls, and your salad bowl and your fruit bowl, because we're going to be together for 2 days. I'm going to give you homework to do that night after you come off the call. And you're going to do your homework, take your special healing bath and your tonics. We're going to join the next day. And from that point, you're going to be just all into the wellness and the detoxing. And then you can register for more comprehensive work with us. You can go into other dimensions and go into and really come in and register for the Sacred Woman Rites of Passage and any of the other trainings that I'm offering to help you master your own life, to help you to be on top of it and be able to help yourself and your friends and all our relations. And I'm done. But that's really just the beginning. Because I have 2 spectacular guests. I'm going to take a green juice on that one. Woo! Mm-hmm. 2 special guests that are coming with us today in honor of womb wellness, womb healing. And that's Erica Chidi, co-CEO and co-founder of Loom. And her work is to empower women through sex education and through reproductive health education. We are so excited that you're here with us to enlighten us and to help to lift us up in our womb wellness work. So without further ado, she is coming in, she is flying in, she is zooming in, she is looming in, she is coming onto the page. Get her. That's right. Send out a lot of hearts as she's coming in. This is one of our divine sisters of womb wellness. Oh, there you are. I get a good look, honey. I've got to get a good look at you. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your devotion and your dedication to our womb wellness, our womb healing, our womb recovery, our womb transformation. Please share with us your background and how you got into this work that you are presenting to us today. Everyone get pen and pad out so you take notes. Go right ahead, my beloved.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Queen.
It's my honor.
Such an honor and such a joy to be in your presence. My work over the past decade has been as a doula and a health educator, supporting women through birth, postpartum, through loss, and through really getting a deeper understanding of how their bodies function. And so very much this idea that you really pull forward around womb wellness, that really is, I would say, like the core of what my work is, because I truly feel that when women understand how their bodies function, especially their sexual and reproductive health, it is the gateway to really optimizing their entire lives. And I think that so many women, at least what kind of brought me into the work was that so many women are living in their bodies, but from a knowledge deficient place. There isn't an understanding how everything connects. And so, with Loom, really our focus is being this well-being platform that's empowering women through sexual and reproductive health education, because it's that education that really, it informs everything else. I can't really say that enough. And I think sometimes we think it's the opposite. We kind of think, I'll just live my life and everything else will come. And it's kind of like there has to be that self-inquiry and that learning and that anchoring and that discipline that then creates that movement forward, or that ability to get deeper into oneself. And so right now, I just saw someone said, can we register? We're launching our platform in January of next year. And so you can go to our website now and just putting your email address to stay connected to what we're doing and kind of what's coming next. But right now it's really about incubating and building the platform, which I think is really beautiful because it's fall, winter, it's a time to kind of pull in and then kind of come forward in the new year.
Wow, powerful. What led you to come into this line of work? What was your inspiration?
Well, my parents are both clinicians. My dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse.
Oh,
And
okay.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
It makes total sense. You were
So,
born, it's in your DNA.
yeah, so it's definitely it's in the DNA. I think also though, we're Nigerian. My parents are first, a first. Sorry, my screen just did something funny, but my parents are from Nigeria. I'm Nigerian, and so when they came over, I think there was two things going on. There was this kind of connection to home, and I luckily got a chance to spend a lot of time there growing up. And my mom was very, very focused and still is on bringing in these blended practices. So a lot of the things that you talk about in your book are things that I've heard most of my life kind of growing up, because you are so deeply connected to source and to that base. And so with Loom and just with this work, I'm always looking at, okay, what does the science say? What does the evidence say? But then also, what is that spiritual connection? What's my intuition saying?
Mm-hmm.
What am I putting into my body that's only going to help me?
Yeah.
It's really about it's about bringing those three pieces together. So I think the inspiration definitely was my parents and my lineage and culture, but also, I love research, I love data, I love facts, but I'm also super intuitive and spiritual and connected. And so it's this idea of, can I bring that to people? Can I bring both of those things at the same time? And I think that's really what the world needs right now. And I so resonated with what you said at the top of this live, where you're just like, women heal thyself, or women heal yourself, and then women heal the planet. And I do really understand that those things have to come together. We can't just be trying to, because I do feel like Black women, we are holding up so many people, we are healing so many people, but what about ourselves?
Yeah.
How do you really do that work with integrity? How do you really hold up those other structures if you're not held within yourself? And so I just think that was really beautiful, and it really is landing with me this morning around that's where we need to be.
Thank you. And Loom, give us some steps in coming into Loom. What does that look like? How can we begin to heal our lives, our womb life, our reproductive health, our sexual life through womb?
Well, there's a couple of things that are coming up for me as you're asking me that today, just intuitively. And I think one of the things, and this is why I think it's so beautiful being in connection with you this morning, is that it's about this intergenerational conversation. It's about asking you what your stories are, and really turning to our elders, turning to our ancestors, asking them what worked for you, what didn't work, what are your struggles. I think especially for Black women, there aren't enough conversations about that. And I think sometimes we need to start there. And so I think that's super important. So just talking to your elders and your ancestors about what happened with their own bodies. And then I think the second step is the willingness, right? It's the desire. I actually want to know. I think we're in a really hard time right now where there's so much going on, and it can be easier to want to shut off that self reflexivity, that looking in on ourselves. And so there's got to be that willingness, I think, is really important. And then it's identifying, that third step is identifying what are the resources that I want to bring in,
Right.
And what are the resources that I have the bandwidth right now to metabolize? Is it just changing my diet? Do I just start that? Or is it just starting with meditation? Or is it just starting with movement? Or is it just starting with getting good sleep, So I think those are the three things for me, is really having those intergenerational conversations, and then really understanding and having that willingness to come forward and start to do some of the work,
Mm-hmm.
and then deciding like where does the work really start. And then maybe the fourth thing too is, so I think you do this so beautifully, this idea that womb wellness is like transcendent, and it locks and unlocks through all these different channels in your auric field, in your energetic field, right? And I think to kind of map on your teaching and to map on that structure, it's this idea that I truly believe that all sexual and reproductive experiences are interlinked. It's on a continuum. So when you are pregnant, you can still be thinking about menopause. Like, you shouldn't be separating those two things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you first get your period, you should be informed about what menopause might be like, or thinking about, fertility, but from a place of like support, not from a place of constriction, like when you first get your period. And so I think there's so much division of all of these sexual and reproductive experiences that women go through. And I think it really creates this tightness, and it kind of cuts us off from being full. And so I think really looking to create ownership through all of these particular areas that are sexual reproductive health related is so important. And so I think that's really what I want to wake women up to. It's not just thinking only about one component. It's start to think about the whole thing.
From a holistic point of view, which I love that. To think about the full spectrum, and you have to have the education to even know there is this full spectrum of what to expect if you're healthy, and what to expect if you're unhealthy. If you do these certain things when you're young, then these wonderful things can happen as you mature. If you don't live a holistic life young, then you're going to have a very traumatic life as you mature. Just to think of that in that education, so I totally see that. The other thing that sparks me as you're speaking is the intergenerational communication about womb healing, womb health, and sexual life. My mother, and back in the day, did not have no kind of conversation with you. They didn't even know what you're talking about. And we just started talking to our daughters in this generation, if at all. And it needs to be said, because we're passing down through our DNA the pain of our grandmothers, and we don't know what they went through. We don't know how to get to it. But this generation, no, we are probing and we're seeking answers. And because holistic health has really come forward in a mighty way, we have more answers. So, wow, amazing. How did they keep up? Because I can feel books behind you. I can feel an avalanche of information. And when they get with you, they are going to fully be educated on their reproductive life, on their womb wellness life. So how does one keep up with you so they can continue to grow and to be with you in the teachings?
The best way to keep up with me would just be to follow me on Instagram. I'm just at Erica Chidi, and then to follow Loom at Loom HQ. And, that's where all of this knowledge is going to be flowing. And thank you for those blessings and those words. I really appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Well, we all thank you. You're getting a lot of hearts. They're seeing a whole lot of love. So you've opened them up. You've opened up their womb consciousness. And now they want to probe. They're going to speak to their mothers now and see how that works out. Their mothers are like, what are you asking me this for?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, then go to your grandmother, go to your auntie.
Somebody, an auntie might tell you, okay. But we got to start somewhere and not be discouraged that we can be healed. Thank you, healer. We love you. We love your work.
Love you. Thank you, Queen.
Blessings. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Wow, that was something. I'm going to see some of your remarks. I'm just checking you out. Blessing, thank you. That we're all in a state of gratitude in our sacred circle. Thank you, Erica. That was really great. I know she had so much to give to us, so much to share, and she was full and ready. So I give thanks and praise. And Diablo, she's coming out. I'm working in Diablo so hard, honey. She done sent me some messages of love, wow. Give thanks and praise.
You are where I go.
Well, we have another doula, and I was listening to OBGYN the other day, and big up to Dr. Drew Pilgrim, our sacred system elder mother, who is an OBGYN extraordinaire, who does brain balancing work. And so she was, I would say she's one of the great pioneers of womb wellness. So I just want to big it up to her today. We must get you on the call. We have the doulas, and speaking to another OBGYN, I never speak to her, but listen to her on the internet. She was saying a doula is so important to have in your life because the doula is your advocate. The doula will support you in your womb experience, so they won't rush you, and you can relax and have the baby come through the birth canal because the doula is right there in the gap. They will encourage all of those who are helping you to birth this baby coming to the world. So I want to big it up to all the doulas, giving you so much love and encouragement. So our next presenter is our sister Haize Hawke, and she's an advanced doula. I want to hear about the advanced doula. That's something else. And she also is a student midwife and facilitator of the Red Tent. So you know she has a wealth of sharing and information for you. So get out your pens and pads and your big open heart as she's coming in to our sacred circle. I see the love is still flowing. We are highly connected. Heal a Woman, Heal a Planet is coming to you. Schedule yourself up for the 13th or the 14th and the 15th. Let's get together and let's have a full 2 days, a 2-day virtual retreat so that we can come out of there fired up. And 2021 is going to be ours. Let's claim it with our healing. And we're going to take the healing that we heal on ourselves and we're going to spread to all our sisters, mothers, daughters, elders, our community. So as we wait for her to come in, she's on her way in. Let's just take some breaths. Let's take a womb breath, a full womb breath. Let's just relax our palms in our lap. Just inhale deep in the bottom of your feet. Allow the flow of oxygen to move through your body into your womb. Inhale, exhale out all tension, all stress, all hurt. And then take another deep breath. And then breathe into your womb heart. The love, the self-love, the self-care. And I'll take another deep breath in. Exhale and breathe into your first all-seeing womb eye so that your mind and your visions become clear because what we're thinking is what we are creating. So let's create a new world together. Inhale and exhale and let go of all that tension, all that stress, all that hurt, all that resentment from all your past relationships. While we wait, I'm going to give you another thing I want you to do within that breath work. We're going to do 28 breaths to represent the full moon cycle. Bring it up to Queen Esther, her moon work. So let's do 28 fire breaths to now establish a new womb life of no pain and no grief and no trauma and no tragedy will become before our womb come into our womb any further. And these 20 breaths, we let it go. Let's begin in deep. And let's go out, and I'm going to clap. Inhale deep from the bottom of your feet all the way up to your womb, up into your heart, up into your crown. Breathe in the breath of life and release and let go. And we just brought our sister in on the wings, our doula. We brought her in. Well, give thanks and praise. We had to prepare for you, my beloved. We just couldn't just come to your kind of way. We had to get a breath work going on. Thank you, Sage. Thank you, Hawk, sister.
Oh, well,
I think about the hawk. I think about the falcon.
Yes.
And having that clear vision.
Hawk medicine
and that
is real.
high vibrational flying. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
And we just love you for doing your womb wellness. I've never done, this is my first time. I've been always teaching me, myself, and I womb wellness. But today I'll actually have, I will call you womb workers, womb wellness practitioners within doula, within the midwifery, within all of that work. We're coming from different angles to protect our womb life. So please tell us about your work and what led you in to doing your great work.
Okay, so ridiculously so, I actually was. Oh, I hear some. Oh, do you
Wait a
hear
minute.
that?
One second. Okay, now we hear you. Go ahead,
Okay.
beloved. Mhm.
I started off in my career as a professional dancer and an actress.
Oh.
I was in a professional ballet company until I was 17. I studied in New York at Strasberg. I studied with Martha Graham and Alvin Ailey. I just wanted to learn, 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 learn.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the birth of my son that changed everything for me. In my birth, my midwife had a woman with her who was her best friend. And she said, I can attend with you. I can be your, I can be as your support system. And I was like, okay, sure. Okay. And an hour and a half into it, I was like, what is this that you're doing? Because you're saving me. What is this?
Did you say you're saving me?
You're saving. She was saving me. Like literally.
I love it.
She changed my mindset about what was happening just with her presence and the work that she was doing. So I asked her, what is this called? Where did you study? All these details. And she said, love, why don't we talk about this after you had your baby? And I was like, no,
workshop while I have the baby.
Really? And I said, no, I'm going to write it down. So I had my journal with me and I wrote down in between surges everything that she did. And then when my son weaned at 3 years old, I started getting certified in all the things that she did, because I realized that all of those things really supported me in that journey. And it wasn't until my daughter was getting ready to, start developing and being in it that I said, I really need to bring in the womb wisdom and the womb wellness aspect of this. And so I started doing red tints for young girls who are getting ready to go on their cycles, and red tints for women who were already bleeding but didn't have an understanding of the sacredness. And then I did red tints for Crohn's, or women who are embracing the dark, because some people don't like the word Crohn's, but women who are embracing the dark magic of not bleeding. They're holding their magic and holding their wisdom. So I started doing these red tint ceremonies for them. And from that, I actually realized the power and the information that can go to women who are having their babies. Because you can have a mindset of suffering through labor, or the mindset of, this is my power, this is my exercise, this is my rite of passage through labor. So that's kind of how I came into it. And I asked, Source, I was like, why would I be a dancer and an actress and take all these classes and do all this studying for 20 something years to be in birth work? But I actually use every single bit of it.
Come on.
There was no mistakes. It was a divine plan. I stepped in my purpose. I stepped into my purpose. Realizing.
Well, when you said that, I went right there. I said, that makes sense to me. You probably had to sing some women through. You had to get them moving and grace and releasing and all of that. It all adds up.
Yes.
And that makes you rich. I can feel the richness in you. I can feel the seasoned womb healer, because of all of that work that expressed to you. Even the fact that you were able to say, hold up, in the middle of your birth, and you're taking notes for your future. That takes a very serious soul to go right there in the midst of that. So I know that who you are, the same experience that you had when you had someone to help you in birthing, that you have a great impact with women. And just as you said, you saving my life, I know that you have been saving some lives of women. Could you tell us some of those stories? Share with us so we can really get connected to how you work.
Well, I think that the gift that I provide, one of my superpowers, is that I make people feel safe, and I make them aware of their blessings and their grace, and especially for women. I think for example, in one of the births that I attended, and it was with a midwife that I'm normally assisting, but something told me to be the doula for this client. And so I did. And It was a very long labor. She had the urge to push entirely early.
How many hours was that labor?
I want to say 40 something hours.
Okay, yeah, she
Yeah.
needed a doula.
She
Why did she need a doula?
she did. And her
Yes.
husband needed that support too, because I was able
Yes.
to let him know that she was safe and okay. And yes, she was outside
That's why.
of,
That's why I said she needed a doula,
yeah.
because that's the doula will help to shore everyone in that circle up. The husband's scared. Otherwise, she'd have been already in the hospital. That would have been it. That could have been the end of that case.
He was ready to go.
That's why I would
You're
say,
right.
keep going, sis. I'm right there with you.
He was ready to go. And I said, this is actually within the realm of normal. And I said, you talk to the midwife. She was like, I'm going to talk to him. And I knew that was my cue to go and speak to the mama, because if he came out of that room where we had left them alone, because sometimes they need that alone time, I knew that something was going on. So I walked in there and I said, what's going on, Mom? And I just eased in to like a tub that you don't want to ripple. You just want to stay warm.
Gentle,
I'm in gentle. And I said, what's happening, Mama? And she was just like, I just don't know. I'm so tired. I don't think I can do this. And I said, well, I actually know you can do this. And there's always something in the reserves. Women have a pocket. Women have their seat of their womb, where that womb wisdom lies. And I said, and I know you don't have womb amnesia. Honey, you remember all of it. You know what you got. Let's jump in. Your ancestors are here. We're all here. Let's breathe together. Let's go through this next one. And I just had to stay in there with her and take her through the journey of each climb and release of surges for about an hour and something. You know, sometimes they need that. But then she was fine, and she did the rest. And it still was a journey. She did the rest like brilliantly, like in her power, standing strong and tall.
In her power. Wow.
And she said, I remember. And that gave me everything. I almost started crying. I could cry right now. She said, I remember.
Because it's all there.
It's all there.
It's all there. Wow, that is amazing. Where were you when I was having children? Okay, sidebar. You weren't born. We have to wait for our healers. Wow, that is amazing. I love the way you work. I love this frequency that you're on. And I know that women are going to come and pour their hearts out to you.
Thank
you.
You
just won't have enough time in the day. So make sure you take extra care of yourself, so they're going to suck on your bone marrow. You got it.
Suck it all.
To get
sucking all the bone marrow. Yes, ma'am.
Please tell us how to keep up with you, and so we can continue this conversation and this level of healing. Please share with us.
Thank you. The best way to keep up with me is at on Instagram at I am Haize Hawke Rosen. My website is being built. I haven't had one for all these years, but now I'm getting one. But the best way, and the way I'm communicating with you, is through Instagram at Haize Hawke Rosen. Thank you, Queen. I'm so honored to be here.
And you happen to have blue on your crown, and that represents our universal sky mother, Newt. Right on point. Thank you. I had fun. I had so much fun.
I did too. Thank you.
We got to continue this happening. Where are you located? What part of the world?
I'm in Los Angeles.
I'll see you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I'll be on the flight. All righty. Love you. Stay in the heights and continue to be encouraged to do your great womb wellness work.
Yes.
We need our healers. We need our doulas, calling out to all the sisters. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful healers in our midst. In our midst, we have everything we need. I am clear that we have everything we need. And you know what? All those cesarean sections that women are getting, if they have a good doula and a good midwife, they can get through, and a good man, a good husband in their lives, that they can get through, and they can get through and bring forth these returning ancestors in the fullness thereof. Wow, amazing. We always close and seal this all up with Queen Esther. She closes us out, or lifts us up, or puts us on her shoulders and swings us into the universal light. There you are, Queen Esther. All righty. Did you enjoy our two healers, womb wellness healers?
It was all about that womniverse, Queen. It was all about that womniverse. You know, and we never talk about that, but that's everything, Queen. The womb is the life, and we're giving more attention to the life right now. And without life, what do we have? You know, but the key thing is, can we enjoy the life, Queen? Can we enjoy the life? I first would like to start off by saying, Queen, thank you so much for appearing on our full moon forum last night with this full
That was
moon.
extraordinary. That was all the way up, all the way to the top. Please share with a little bit of that, Queen Esther, and give us our reading for the day. We got to get they got to get what's going on, because the moon work was over the top.
Yes, it was
last night. I'm so glad I was a part of that.
Yes, it was so awesome, because the point is just to unify us, Queen. Not on our opinions, but on Mother Nature. We have no room to. I'm not into this. We're all into the womb, Queen. The moon.
Oh yes.
The cycles of the moon, our reproductive cycles. It's all about the divine cycles, and we have to get in alignment with that. And we had you on. We had the beloved Dr. Drew Kukurum on.
Yes.
Okay, giving us that brain information. And we had a special guest, our international guest from Africa, from the continent. We had the mother herself, Her Excellency, Dr. Arakana Chihumburu Kwao. Okay. And she's been leading, she's an ambassador. She's been leading work in the motherland with the OAU. And she came to us, Queen, to join with us, join forces as women, as a mother. And we were so happy, because she's going to help us lead us, navigate us into the motherland. Because the word is, it's about time to go home now. We've had a little
paginate us. You know, Nick, you have to have your beginnings. You have to have your foundation for you to feel whole.
Yes.
So her coming in to us is like, the timing is impeccable. It's in perfect timing for a time such as this.
Right now,
we must get our strength and power. So we give thanks for that.
Yeah. So a brief reading about today, Queen. We are coming from the red. Okay, the red. Just so you know, we're just trying to educate our audience as we move forward. And what does the red signify? There are 4 directions. You know, this is basic science. 4 directions: east, north, west, and south. Again, the east, north, west, and south. And the east is where the sun rises. The sun rises in the east. Not because I said so, because that's where the sun rises. And the east is the first direction of the sun coming. And it represents the red, which is the fire, which is the blood, which is the beginning, which is the leaders come from the east. So that's it. This is the first of the directions. So that's where we are today. We're starting new on the first direction from the east. Now, the next thing we should know is there are 13 moons, Queen. They're not 12 months. There's 13 moons, because if you do 28, 28, 28, 13 moons in the year, okay? And we're on the 9th moon, the solar tone. And that represents the tone, Queen, the pulse. When we're pulsing, whatever we want to happen, we have to stay focused on what we want, not on what we don't want. And we have, you know how your pulse, you have that pulse in your wrist, that pulse, it keeps throbbing. We have to pulse our intentions. That's how we develop our telepathy. When you think about someone consistently and you pulse it into the universe, they can pick up that telepathy. That's the pulse. You understand? And the third part of the reading today is the earth. Queen, we are all a part of the earth. The earth's fate is our fate. And just as we as women, as mothers, we're not acknowledged often, we're not appreciated as mothers, we know what that feels like when no one acknowledges how much we do and how much we give as mothers. But what about the great Mother Earth, Queen? The Mother Earth gives us everything. We plant food into the earth, the rivers, the ocean, the water, the trees, the flowers. The nature is from Mother Earth. So we have to be in tune. We have to love on the mother and just acknowledge the Mother Earth. We are
give her respect.
Thank you, Queen. We have to give her respect, Ashe. So I'm here for you. This is part of the GPS. You can, if you want to find out your GPS, what direction are you coming from? What are the tones represent you when you were born, and what glyph signifies your purpose, your GPS, your signature? Look for me on themoonfall.com. Get your reading, because right now, Queen, we're shifting gears. We have to get in alignment. We have to get information with the information.
Line up
to
the resurrection, to the healing and the transformation. It's for all of us. Come on in.
That's what time it is, Queen. So we're here. I'm in attendance. I'm right here in line, ready with the rest of my sisterhood, and it's time to move forward. Give thanks.
Yes. And Queen Esther, for those who are just coming on for the first time, could you share with us how we can keep up with your work and get the energy readings and the galactic readings, as well as coming into the moon trainings that you have? Light of the Moon trainings. Please share with us.
This is healing by the light of the moon. And it's a very simple thing. Healing, like everything, needs to be consistent. You know how you go on a good healing regimen last month? What about this month, Queen? You cleaned the house last week. What about this week? Healing is a consistent process, just like the universe. Spring, summer, fall. The universe it moves in cycles, and I wanted to attach our wellness to the cycle so we can be consistent. New moon, which is coming up. We have a full moon right now. If anybody's paying attention, the energy is high. It's time to release. It's time to celebrate. This is the full moon energy right now. And in 2 weeks, it'll be a new moon. What do we do on the new moon? It's time to get that house cleaned up. Clean up that diet. Get the exercise on. Get back on your healing. In 2 weeks, get in alignment with the newness. Planting seeds with the new moon. So every phase of the moon, I have a different aspect of healing. You can go to themooncall.com and register, and then you'll know when the new moon is, the crescent, you'll know what all the phases are, and you can align your life to that for now and forever. Queen, the universe has been revolving forever, okay? And the animals, they're not overweight. I mean, a bird never gets too heavy to fly, okay? Because they're in tune. And as mothers...
You tell me a bird doesn't get overweight because they're in tune?
They have to know how much to eat.
We have to get in tune.
We have to get in...
And
Right.
we won't suffer. That's really it.
And we're the mothers. So we feed the children, we feed our men. And when we say woman, we want the men to know woman includes the word man. So we're never just not disconnecting from our men. Our men the men come from us, Queen. We birth our men, Queen. We love our men. We need our men. We want our men. And we want them to be well and to be healed. And how can they heal if we're not healed? Because we're feeding them. We're supporting them. We're nurturing them. But if we're not loving ourselves, how can we love our men? You understand?
You know, Queen, it makes me think about when couples would come for consultation, and the woman is sitting there, the husband and wife, they're there together, and I'm saying this is what he needs to do, what she needs to do, and he's saying to her, honey, did you write that down? Honey, did you get that? Honey, what did she say? Do we have a juicer in the house? She's doing all that work because she's the primary healer of the household, and he's conscious of it.
We know.
So when you think of the woman, she has to take in that healing to the fullest, and of course, take care of herself so she can give to her mate, because he definitely is going to need it from her, because that's what her job, that's her work. So you just made me really think about womb man, bringing that all together, and that's really how we build our families up. Not sick families, but well families.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Queen Esther.
Thank you.
I mean, did we have a sensational day today with the birthing, and it's been going on. This birthing is all the way up on so many different levels and different planes. We are birthing a new us,
family,
a new family, a new city of wellness, a new planet.
And what part are you playing? Everyone has to ask themselves, what part are you playing? Each and every one. What are we
that's
doing?
The question. You know, it said Planet Heal. What are you doing to heal the people, to heal yourself of planet Earth? So we all have to get involved. Everybody. It's not a one man or one woman show. It's about all of us together, bringing the healing on, and particularly the healers of the original healers of planet Earth are the melanin people.
Oh, we know this.
And they're coming. They're original ones. All right. So everything that we call New Age, whether it be Reiki, that's African natural lifestyle. We already know that. Yoga, meditation, African natural lifestyle, color therapy, astrology, hydrotherapy, vegetarian lifestyle, herbology, all of it reclaiming African natural lifestyle. Hit the music. It's time. We're here at the end of this segment. We'll be back again with Rod, Debbie, and Queen Esther closing it out as us and David Hay. Hey, Austin, David Hay.
Watch it now.
Yes. This is sounds of Africanness.
Take it.
Sounds of Now Valley. Sounds of blackness. Sounds of melanin. Because this is our time.
It's our time.
Our party. Don't fret. Don't be angry. Just celebrate. That's right. I spoke to Erica about that. I said, girl, it's about celebration. She said, let's celebrate our healing.
Ashe.
Look to the sky. Mother Earth is watching over us, protecting us. Just tune up and tune in. Get your reading, Queen Esther. They got to get their readings. They got to know where they're coming from, how they get there, and what's next on their lifestyle of the miracle time. It's a miracle time right now. Don't get scared. This is the mighty time for miracles. We're those colors.
We claim it.
Hey. Yes. Thank you.
Women heal the planet. Women heal the planet. Women heal the planet.
Stay tuned. Stay in the circle. That's your protection.